Good evening, everybody. I'd like to thank the grace of heaven, the virtues of the masters, and the compassion and mercy of the grand predecessors, transmitters, lectures, temple hosts, and everyone for giving me this opportunity today to talk about today's topic, which is the benefits of returning to the Tao temple. Okay, so all right, so the emphasis on the Tao temple. Okay, it's not just a temple. Okay, it's a Tao temple. All right. Okay, so you probably heard about, before, either in classes or whenever you attend a temple that, why is this so important to regularly, okay? It has to be regular. It's not like once in a blue moon or once a year type of thing, or twice a year or something like that. It's a regular thing, okay? It's a regular commitment to come to the temple. I mean, yes, you could learn on your own, right? I mean, right now with internet and everything, everything online, you can, but that's only, but what you take away from that is it's only partial. So you don't get the full range, full spectrum of learning or experience if you don't come to the temple. All right. So there. Okay. All right. So in Tao cultivation, we always say, right, that there, if you want to cultivate the Tao, there are three things that you do not become detached from or be separated from. Okay. Separate from. The first one is from the Tao temple. Okay. I mean, yeah, the Tao temple, we say Tao temple. I mean, if you translate exactly from Chinese, they can also say white era or prior heaven temple. Okay. I mean, but the reason why we say Tao temple is it's not like any other Mahayana temple or Hongyang Miao. Okay. Or, I just go to any Buddhist temple or monastery or whatever. No, that's the difference. Okay, so we're the Tao temple. That's very, very, okay, that's very specific. All right. Okay, then the other two are this. I mean, but which is not the topic of today's. I mean, it's just not in today's topic. But it's kind of there's a connection. All right, the truth. Okay, I mean, everything has to be connected to truth. Okay, otherwise it's not the Tao. Okay. All right. Okay. So if we look at number one, to be separated from the temple. Okay, so then, okay, all right. So then the next question, that maybe next few questions is that then, okay, so if we should not, as in cultivating Tao, we cannot be apart. Okay, we're not disconnected from the temple, right? The physical temple. I mean, at the higher level, you can say, yeah, there's a metaphysical temple, but that's not. we're not talking about that level. Okay, all right. Okay, we're talking about the physical, the actual location. Okay, the place. Okay, of the temple. All right. So one way to see to understand what are the benefits is to see what are the functions of the Tao temple. Right. Okay, the functions of the Tao temple. All right. What are the functions of the Tao temple? All right. Well, it's to give us a place to seek or receive the Tao and to cultivate the Tao, right? To allow us, okay, to allow us to learn, to be able to learn and correct our, faults, our, and rid of our bad tempers, right? It's a place where we can do that. Yes, you can do that outside the temple too, but also at the temple you start, because you start learning about the principles, etc., etc., etc. All right. Okay. All right. And also to be able to purify and transform our souls, to change our destiny, to move towards the path of sages from that of main temper. Okay, because the temple is a holy place, right? It's now. Okay, what's that? A month ago or something, we talked about the vows of being temple host or assistant temple host vow, right? The setting up a temple is not an arbitrary decision. Okay, you can't just say, oh, today I want to set up a temple either at my house or at this place or whatever, whenever you feel like it. No, you have to get. It has to be. How can I say? It has to follow heaven's will. heaven's mandate. So that's why it's called the Tao temple. I mean, any other temple, you know, anybody could decide to create one. I mean, to set up one, or take one away, okay, or take it or move it or whatever, okay. The Tao temple is different, okay. It's different because it has to be in accordance with, you can say heaven's will or God, the Buddha's approval. You can say that, okay, all right. Because why? This Tao temple is really, you know, God's temple. It's like God's home, quote unquote, okay, all right. So anyway, all right, okay. So that's why it's holy, okay. It's you can say it's established under part of this golden thread, etc., etc., etc. Okay, all right. And so therefore, because it is holy, it has Buddha's blessing, right? Okay, right, okay, all right, okay. And therefore, it's a place where we can learn, you know, about our spiritual nature, etc., etc., about the Tao, about, you know, how to be, we say purify and transform. That means, you know, to get back to our true nature. Okay, all right. And by doing so, and also from the class topic of 4 weeks ago about the temple host vows, right? That's a place where you make vows, right? You don't make a vow at your home or at work or in a car or in a bus or whatever, you know, you because you have to follow some procedures. There's certain protocols, okay? So that's where you do it at the temple, right? Okay, all right. And that's where we can then, you know, have a, you can say, a proper way of how to cultivate, and that, and if we can make vows and then fulfill the vows, that's how we can change our fate, our destiny, right? And we can, you know, be on the path of the sages, and sort of not how can I say, not be so attached or focused purely on mundane pursuits. Okay, all right. So therefore, by understanding or knowing what the functions of the Tao temple is, then we can understand what the benefits return to the temple. All right, to the Tao temple. All right. Okay. So the benefits of returning to the Tao temple. Okay. So the Tao temple is, okay, or is, it should be just is A or N. Okay. All right. So there's a long list. I mean, depends on, depends on where you get the source, you know, materials from, the source material. You know, there are, you know, the benefits or the functions. Sorry, we're talking about functions now. The functions, and therefore the benefits derived from those functions. You know, it depends on how fine detail you want to get into. I mean, there's a very on a general one, and then there's so this, we have a list of like 30 odd, 32, I think. Okay, I mean, so it's a lot, but this is very, you know, a lot of times this is very specific, and also you can say, you know, there's some overlap. Okay, all right, so just knowing that, just that. Okay, so number one, it's a happy place. It's a happy place of tranquility. Okay, it's a source. You know, it's the, you know, because it's the temple. It's, you know, you can say it's God's temple. It's where the Buddhas, you know, are blessed. You know, the place where Buddha. Okay, so you know, it's a source of happy, and why of tranquility. Why tranquility? Because it's a place where we do not focus on mundane pursuits, right? Okay, you know, so all our, you know, distracting thoughts, you know, about, or feelings about all mundane matters, right? We should not have that at the temple, right? So the temple is a place of quiet, okay, and it's a place where any tainted illusions, if you will, you know, of what we have, you know, attachments, etc., of what we have of this world, okay, is gone. Okay, it's going to be purified up. Okay, all right. So how do we do that? It's because, you know, when we return to the Tao temple to worship the saints and Buddhas, etc., and to join the courses, you know, that the classes that the temple offer, right? That allows the soul to have peace and calm. Okay, you know, to sort of take a break away from all these mundane pursuits that we have, right? Okay, and have calm, you know, So that way we are truly a blessed person, okay? A blessed person. We don't realize it that way. Okay, number two, it's also a place where the blessings of sentient beings are developed or arise from, okay? So everyone who returns to the temple by, and how do we do that? Like the Tao community members, right? If with sincere prayers, okay, we can ask, we can pray to the saints and Buddhas to, the literal translation to increase our spiritual energy. I mean, energy is, it just means to help us to generate blessings. Okay, so we can always ask for the Buddha's guidance, Buddha's blessings. So we come to the temple and we do our kato, right? Stuff like that. Okay, so all right, okay. Now, generally, it's not to say that you can't kato at home, okay? But I mean, yes, you can. Okay, yes, you can. But if you do it in a temple setting, because it's more formal and it's a holy, it's a holy place. It's a place that's protected by the guardians of the law. Okay, so it has, like, you can say, special power. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's why it's more effective. All right. Okay, all right. So when we do our katos at the temple, okay, all right, before the altars, okay, all right. It's also, therefore, the temple functions as a place of interaction between heaven and humans, right? Between the Buddhas and people, right? So when we return to the Tao temple, we are able to receive, I mean, literally, the illumination of Buddha's halo. We say, Fu Guang Pu Zao. I mean, that's that's the expression. It just means that, because Buddhas have, I mean, or the, saints, Buddhas, they have this aura, halo aura, so that aura, they will shine, right? They will illuminate or get rid of all the darkness, right, of the world. So that's, like, I mean, that's a metaphor for, us receiving blessings. Okay, so I mean, okay, so we say get rid of bad energy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the literal term for this means it means stench or bad odor. But anyway, it just means to get rid of the bad energy. Okay, all right. Okay, let's see, where am I? Okay, all right. And what happens is, also at the temple, especially during Dharma classes, oh well, maybe not now, but used to be, or special classes like last month we had the talent class, right? We have, we get channelings or visitations from the Buddhas, saints, right, from heaven. So we can also, learn more, right? If we have questions, doubts, whatever. Okay, so these revelations from the Buddhas, allows us to be able to, gain more wisdom or more understanding. All right. Okay. All right. So, okay. So that's a benefit, right? I mean, but that's a function, one of the functions of the temple. Okay. All right. It's also the function of it's a joyful place of saints and Buddhas. Yeah. I mean, yeah. This yeah, we say joyful place. It just means that it should be, it's like, well, we'll get to another point, which is like, it's like a paradise, because it's like the temple, the Tao temple is, you can say, a symbol or representative of heaven. You can say that, okay? Or, where quote unquote, we say, saints and Buddhas reside, right? It's like their home. I mean, it's actually our home too, but anyway, but okay. But so therefore it's a happy place, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Now, so one of the temple Buddha is, it allows, it's a place where Buddhas and saints can come to this world, right? Come to the physical world, and to enlighten us, to to guide us, to teach us, etc., during the visitations or even sand writing. Okay. So therefore, it allows people to, hear what the Buddhas have to say or see what the Buddhas have to say. So to allow us to gain wisdom and or inspire, right? To help us understand the principles, okay, and develop the wisdom, okay, or nurture the wisdom, all right, our wisdom, okay. It's also a place to achieve Buddhahood through one's efforts and insight, okay, all right. Now it's true that Siddhartha Buddha, I mean, he did not achieve Buddhahood in a temple because no quote unquote Buddhist temples existed then, right? He achieved Buddhahood in under a Bodhi tree, right? Okay, but since after him, practically all, practically, there's some exceptions, but generally speaking, all enlightenment takes place, either at a monastery or at a temple. Six patriarchs is an example, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, all right, okay. I mean that's okay. The key is, as long as one returns to the temple, right? All right, okay. We have this opportunity. The whole point is that, the temple gives us an opportunity to be able to hear the teachings, right? To hear the teachings, and therefore to at least point us on the path towards enlightenment. Okay, so that's one of the functions. So that's a joyful place because it's a place where it allows us to what? To reach paradise, right? To achieve Buddhahood, etc. Okay, so that's what I call. Okay, number 5. Another function is that it's a place where we can develop a compassionate and merciful mind, right? We can learn about the teachings. We can hear, see the examples of saints and Buddhas, right? How, to hear them or to see them, express, their mercy, display their mercy, right? And compassion. Okay. So like, for example, we always, there are always classes available, right? At the temple, right? Offer at the temple. So we're always talking about that. We're speaking about the teachings, right? And that is to all these teachings, all what we talk about. It's not about mundane matters, right? It's about spiritual things, right? It's about the principles, right? The Tao. Okay. And it also helps, these teachings helps to guide us to move away from more, how can I say, mundane or physical attachments, things like the 3 poisons, ignorance, all of that, desires, etc., and move towards to what is our really true nature is like, right? So that way, the whole idea is that this whole process is to inspire within us that we have this, we call it intuitive moral sense, right? It's, you can say it's conscience. The conscience could be part of that, right? Okay, it's more like to sort of help all these teachings at the temple is to help us get closer to our true self, to a true nature, to a Buddha nature, to get to know more, to really to go back to who we really are, to say to find out who we really are. Who is our, okay? It's not our ego, etc., etc. Okay, it's basically our Buddha nature. Okay, that's what it is. So that's where that part of that process it's to discover is of that discovery is that they find out that, oh wait, this quote unquote true self, true nature, Buddha nature is actually compassionate, actually very merciful. Just like the Buddhas, right? So part of the function of the temple is to help us, guides us towards that. Okay, so that way we can then, progress together, move forward together, right? And help save the rest of the world. Okay, all right, save. Okay, now it's also, the temple is also a place of refuge for humanity, for humans. Okay, what does that mean? It just means that, especially in this in this entering this white era, right? The white period, right? Okay, we're transitioning, or we're actually really entering the white period already. Okay, we've already moved out of the red era. Okay, red period. So that because the temple is an assembly, right, for saints and Buddhas. Okay, and because there are calamities in this world now, right? It's because we're in this white era, or the beginning, the beginning beginning stage of the white era. There are a lot of calamities. So people, especially, we want to, avoid disasters. We want to seek help. So the temple is a place for people to seek, you can say, assistance or mercy, guidance from the saints and Buddhas. Okay, so when we return to the temple regularly, and we associate or we interact with saints and Buddhas, and if we emulate them, right, we follow their teachings, their guidance, their examples, etc., then the Buddhas, because they're merciful and they know that you are on the same path as they were before they achieved Buddhahood, they're more than willing, as a matter of fact, because of their vows, they will assist us. So, and one of the assistance would be, to help us avoid calamities. Now, that's one half. The other half is there's a karma part too. But okay, but at least we have this one half side, that if you know that, you are cultivating, you're sincere, you're making vows, that's very important. You are fulfilling vows, and therefore you are what? Establishing merit, virtuous merit, right? Okay, all that stuff, and you're cultivating, you're getting rid of your, especially the 3 poisons, etc., etc. The 4 marks of existence. The big one is the ego, etc. Then the Buddhas will naturally help us. Okay, and therefore, okay. So that's part of the, we can change our destiny, etc., etc. Okay, I mean, I think one of the other points we'll talk about, and I think we talked about in karma, is that this is how, even though Buddhists cannot eliminate karma, but they can, as long as you're sincere and you establish merits, virtuous merits, and make vows and fulfill vows, they can use those. Buddhists can help use those things to sort of like balance out, offset our karma. Okay, all right. So all right. Okay, so now it's also the one of the functions. Another function of the temple is that it's a place. Well, I say it's a place of gospel. It's a place of good tidings, for sentient beings. Okay, right? Because there are, because we're now in this 3rd era, there are going to be disasters, calamities. So heaven, because heaven's merciful, so they descended to this world, the gospels, the teachings of the Tao, of the great Tao. Okay. So as long as people are willing to go to the temple and listen to the teachings, then that's a benefit, right? Because these teachings, or these good tidings, gospel, will help us, direct us of how to either, well, firstly, it's to to transcend rebirth, reincarnation, but also help us, guide us in this life, right? And also protect us, right? Protect us from disasters and etc. Okay, all right. Now, it's another function of the temple is to it's a place, and this is where we talk about changing destiny or stuff, or avoiding calamities. It's also a place for either changing or transforming misfortunes to a blessing. Okay, yeah, it's all right. So not only can we, when we return to the temple, or when we go to the temple regularly, constantly, not only can we receive the refuge of virtuous beneficence, which means blessings, you can say, okay, from the saints, but we can also avoid the possible karmas created by the body, mind, and mouth. That's, you know, when we're outside of the temple. Okay, the key is that, as well as postpone the, okay, of karmic forces. Okay, so therefore one can transform, you know, misfortune. But the key is, you know, and then that's, you know, stated in the other points, is that you have to be sincere. You have to make vows. You have to really cultivate. You have to make an effort. The key is that you have to progress in your cultivation in order for this, for be able to transform misfortune to blessing. Okay, I mean, part of it is karma. There is, yeah, part of it is you can say, hey, you know, I don't cultivate, and yet look, you know, I have a very happy life, right? Blah 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 blah. But then that's all due to karma. That's all due, and this because that means in this life, in this existence, the karmic rewards in this case are bearing fruit, okay, or come to fruition. But all the karmic retribution maybe has not yet happened. Okay, it's still so you know, you can't just rely on that, right? So the key is, because we don't know, you know, how many, you know, like, you know, how many things, you know, good or bad, you know, that we've done in the past, right, in previous lives, and you never know when they are going to pop up, right? So therefore, you know, it's best to always try to accumulate as much virtuous merits as you possibly can. Okay, you know, in this existence, in this lifetime, so as to make sure that, you know, you have enough to offset whatever bad, you know, karmic causes that we have planted in our previous existence. Okay, so all right. Okay, also the Tao temple is also a place for improvement in cultivating the Tao, right? Like, you know, I mean, like, very, okay, so although we have said, but we really have to cultivate the Tao, to practice Tao, then can we achieve Tao. So by always returning, we can learn how to, you know, we say cultivate and handle matter. It just means, like, for example, the very basic example is what temple, you know, rituals, especially, you know, like the arrival, departure, the morning, evening, the 1st and the 15th, and, you know, others, etc. You know, how to perform those rituals, right? That's the very basics, right? That's very basics. Okay, so that's how we can improve. Okay, all right, in learning about the Tao, in our cultivating. Also, you know, and that's just, it's not just an individual matter. You could also learn from other people at the temple. Now, listen to their experiences, listen to their insights, their knowledge, their understanding, and that will also help us, right? Help us, okay? So we can, you know, help us advance, right? Help us, you know, we say temper ourselves and correct our bad habits, but basically just improve ourselves, okay? So, all right, so that's what another function of the temple, okay? All right, it's also a place of promise. You know, it just means to allow us to return to our Tao nature, to our true nature. It just means that, okay, it's a place where we really can learn about our true selves. Okay, after we see the Tao, right? After our portals open, right? We can say, hey, you know, what is that? You know, what is that thing, that nature? You know, that true self. Okay, you know, we by coming to the temple, you learn about that. You cultivate, you practice about that. Okay, you learn, receive. Okay, I mean, yes, you can do it by yourself. I mean, at home, I say, I mean, but it's more difficult because the setting, it's not the proper environment, right? The key is it has to be that environment that's conducive for learning about our true selves. Okay, so all right, okay, so that's another function. Okay, so that's another benefit. It's also a place, the temple is also a place to introduce heaven, paradise. Okay, we talk about paradise, absolute heaven, etc., etc. Okay, so after we receive the Tao, we can, you know, we are blessed because we know we don't, despite all our previous karma, etc., etc., right? We can pass through the underworld. We don't have to make a stop at the underworld, okay? When it's time to leave, right? Okay, we can go back, directly to heaven, okay? But the key is we have to really cultivate and practice. Then we can really avoid, the judgment of the underworld, okay? Okay. So the temple is a place to talk about, to introduce us to this absolute heaven, okay, paradise, okay. Now that's the more spiritual side, okay. That's not, and later on there's another point we'll talk about on the physical world, okay. But anyway, okay. Another function is that of the temple is that Tao temple is the work for the three realms, which is the celestial, human, the physical, human, and the underworld, right? That's because we're in this transition period, right, from the red to the white. This is a special, you can say period, special time. Is that, in this this transition period, the souls or the beings of these three realms are eligible to receive the Tao, to learn about the Tao. Yeah, so that's where that this work takes place at the temple. For example, let's just say our ancestors, our deceased ancestors. Okay, if we come to the temple to listen class or to do whatever, to work at the to clean the temple, whatever, the souls of the deceased ancestors, are eligible to come to the temple. You know that, to listen to class or whatever. So they have like an invitation, if you will, to come to this holy place, to calm their souls, to comfort their souls, even though they may be suffering in the underworld. So that's a good, truly a good benefit, right? Not just for yourself. I mean, for you yourself, that's actually performing merits, etc. But it also benefits your ancestors. Okay, so all right, so all the people of this world, all the ghosts of the underworld and the celestial beings, they have to come to the temple to receive the Tao, no matter what. Okay, so that's why the temple also serves that, and also so therefore it also benefits us, right? I mean, benefits us, in the sense that it benefits our ancestors. Okay, all right. It's also a place of practice for sentient beings. What does that mean? Practice. It's a refinement, practice, refinement. Okay. It just means that the reason why sentient beings are sentient beings is because, especially, particularly our bad habits. Okay. We have not gotten rid of our habitual nature, that bad habits, etc. So that's why we remain human beings, sentient beings. Okay. So therefore, if we can go to the temple regularly and we learn to practice, understand more about the principle, learn that, and then to help us get rid of our habitual nature, okay, then we can manifest or manifest our true nature, be on that path towards enlightenment. Okay, so the temple serves as a practice ground. Okay, a practice ground, we say a place for refining our true nature, refining our human nature to transform, or habitual nature to transform to our true nature. Okay, all right. So therefore, going further, the next level, the temple also serves as a place of improvement, right? After we refine our habitual nature to improve, to basically towards achieving enlightenment, okay, Buddhahood. Okay, so just to think, okay, Buddhas, before they were enlightened, they were also sentient beings, right? Buddhas, I mean, okay, before they were enlightened, they were also sentient. Excuse me, okay, and the reason for that is because all sentient beings have this Buddha nature, have this true nature. So if we can hear the Dharma, or learn the Dharma, etc. Okay, and remember, the temple is a Tao community. It's a group of people, right? It's a group of cultivators, right? We say Tao kin, Tao family members, if you will, Tao family. Okay, we can help each other, right? We can how can I say, influence each other, right? Because obviously, because all the Tao family members are not at the same level, right? Some are more advanced, some are not as advanced, some are new, beginners. Okay. Some are more advanced and are long time cultivators, so they have more experience, more insights, etc., more knowledge. Okay. We can all learn from each other, right? Okay. And the key is this. There's an influence. There's it's not it may not be obvious, but we can learn from them. That's the important thing. We can look up to them. We can try to emulate them, right? Confucius said, right, among three people, one of them could be my teacher, right? So all right. So the key is, as long as we are mindful, we are observant, mindful, aware, that we have, or be on guard, be watchful that we have this habitual nature that's still there, that we have to overcome it. Okay, we can eventually get rid of that, right? Then what's left is our Buddha nature, and that's how we can achieve Buddhahood. So it's not, we say it's not that difficult, but I obviously it's easier said than done. But anyway, but the whole point is that one of the functions of the temple is to serve as a place for improving, oneself in one's cultivation to achieve enlightenment. So that's another benefit that we could get. Okay. Now it's also, and this is kind of like redundant maybe for the previous one about, a refuge, right, for sentient beings, but this is more specific. This is a refuge for avoiding calamities, natural disasters. Okay. So because the Tao temple is a place of joy, right, for cultivating and practicing sentient beings, then being able to return to by, absorbing the illumination of Buddha's halos, the blessings, basically blessings, then calamities will not devastate or will not harm us. I mean, it maybe it won't be as severe, okay, whatever calamities, okay, it will mitigate it, okay, reduce it. So this is so that's another function of the temple, and so therefore that's another benefit that we can derive from. Okay, it's also a place of convalescence for our state of mind, or where we can recuperate, if you will, from either the emotional state that we are in, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so when the key is this, is because human, we have emotions, our mind is not yet, because we still have the human nature that's in control, right, of us. Okay, so it's easy for our minds to be constantly stirring, moving around, whatever, thinking about things or whatever, thinking about things. Okay. All right. Okay. And so therefore, when we're in that state, when our mind is, moving or whatever, active, you can say at work, active, it becomes easy. They become subjected to desires and rage, all that stuff. Okay. So that's why we have to calm our minds. That's why, one of the functions of the temple is that it's a place where, our minds should be calm, right? Should be calm. Okay. So when we return to the temple, that allows us to know the way of how do we guard against, anger, rage, and desire, and how to, end desires, or how to at least put a stop or discipline, our minds to that. Okay, so that's all what we could learn at the temple. All right, so because that's the right environment. I mean, you can say, yeah, you could do it at home, but I'm saying it's not the right environment, right? At home, it's a little bit different because you have so many distractions, mundane distractions, right? You have the phone, TV, neighbors, whatever. Okay, so you have, so that's why, the temple is a more appropriate setting, gives a more appropriate environment for this. Okay, all right. So that's a place where you can settle. I mean, the one of the functions of the temple is a place to settle down our state of mind, to calm, right? And so this is related, kind of like connected to that very first point we talked about, right? Okay. All right. It's also, now this is another like almost redundant from like number 15. Okay. It's a place of sanctuary for sentient beings. Okay. Okay. Now this is not just for calamities. Like 15, we talk about specific calamities. Okay. But this is just means that what sanctuary means that it doesn't necessarily mean that, a sanctuary, is just for avoiding calamities, right? It doesn't mean that, right? You could be saying a sanctuary is an area where we can sort of like remove ourselves from all this all this mundane material distractions and pursuits, desires, wants, needs, all of that, right? I mean, also, disasters and whatever. Okay, but so that's what I mean by sanctuary. It's broader. Okay, so when we are cultivating and practicing the Tao, yes, we have to understand that all our, how can I say, the debts that we've incurred, karmic debts, they have to be repaid. That's the law of causality. But here's the important understanding. They can be repaid. Yeah, okay. Like the Bible mentioned, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, right? I mean, so that's the standard. If we don't do anything, if we just follow the course of the causality of karma, that's how it resolves. But if we come to the temple and we make vows, fulfill vows, and we establish virtuous merits, that's the key. Then you can use those virtuous merits to repay our karmic debts. That's the big difference. That's the key. So also, okay, but that doesn't happen right away, right? When you are a relatively new member, you don't have this, you may not have accumulated, enough merit or something. Okay, so that's why we all emphasize, oh yeah, you're on the fairy people, because that's accumulating merit, which is true. Okay, but meanwhile, when we are not yet there, or we haven't have that much merit yet, the Buddhas and saints can help us. So that's what we say, they can temporarily divert and shift the karmic debts. So the Buddhas can help us do that. That, I mean, so the Buddhas and saints can temporarily, so the key is temporary, divert and shift the karmic debts. Okay, so like postpone it, if you will. Okay, all right. Okay, so that way, and why would Buddhists and saints do that? It's not that they're eliminating our karmic debts. No. They can't do that for us. We have to do it ourselves to eliminate, by repaying. And how do you repay? By establishing virtuous merits. So, but we're not there yet. We haven't, or we don't have enough merits or whatever. Okay, we haven't done it yet. During that period, temporarily, Buddhists and saints can help postpone to allow us to establish enough virtuous merits to pay back our karmic debts. So that's where the Buddhists, and that's where by coming to the temple, we can, quote unquote, if you will, have the protection of the saints and Buddhas. Understand? Okay, so that's enough. So that's a benefit, right? For us to allow us time, to give us time to have enough virtuous merits to be able to repay our debts. Okay, our karmic debts. All right. So also, it's a place to purge. It's to clean away our faults. One of the translations of 地罪 is 地罪 is purgatory. Okay. And that's in the Christian or Catholic church. Purgatory is a place where you pay back your debts, basically, or you pay off your sins. Okay, that's what it is. It's not yet hell. It's not the underworld. It's sort of like in between. Okay, so I mean that's what the Christian, the Catholic understand. But it's a temple. The Tao temple is a place where it allows us the opportunity to clean away or get rid of our faults. Okay, so that's because we have, because the reason why, we're sentient beings is because we have incurred grave debts or serious debts or serious sins, if you will, okay, in previous life. So that's why in this life, in this existence, we're still sentient beings. So in order to break free from this vicious cycle, right, of being a sentient being, okay, we have one way to do it is to go to the temple and repent, kato, right, repent, okay, all right. And actually, we actually, we may not realize it, but we're doing it in the morning and evening rituals, part of the repentance in the repentance section that we have when we do the 3-3-10-10, okay, kato. It's that repentance. There's a repentance portion over there, okay, all right. So we by repenting, by being sincere and repenting and not repeating our faults, then that's how we can accumulate merit to offset these sins or these debts, okay? And that way, that's how our faults or quote unquote sins can be purged, can be eliminated, okay? All right, so number 19 is also the temple is a place for resolving, we say problems, questions for sentient beings, okay? So basically, most of the problems, if not all the problems in life, is due to our human emotional entanglement. I mean, you can say it's ignorance. Yeah, it's caused by ignorance, which is true. It's true, but it's because of ignorance that leads us to become to have emotional entanglements or emotional, outbursts or something like that, right? Like rage, right? Rage, attachments, desires, all that. Okay, so by returning to the temple regularly, constantly, we will receive the blessings of Buddhists and saints. Okay, and also the other Tao family members, if the Tao community, can also encourage us, guide us, and help us and be our, like some could be our good teachers or whatever, okay? And some could be just, provide support for us, right? Okay. Then that way, our difficult problems of life can at least, maybe not 100% resolved, but at least can be resolved partially, if not, all right? Okay. All right. So to help, all right? Okay. So that's another benefit of the temple, okay? All right. Now, okay, now this is, we're gonna get a little bit more abstract sometimes. Okay, so it's also, the Tao temple is also a refueling station of absolute heaven. What does that mean? It just means that, another way of saying is that it's from the shore of shackles. That means that's the physical world, the mundane world. Okay, we need to return to the opposite shore paradise. That's called the Western paradise. I mean, that's what the literal translation means. The West. Now, the West, means that it's the paradise. It's you can say heaven. That's also what paramita means, by the way. Okay. All right. So, but in order to do that, okay, it requires wisdom and willpower. Okay. So that's the fuel that will sort of like enable us to continue to make that journey, right? Of going to the opposite shore. Okay. So we need wisdom, right? And willpower, determination, right? Okay. And this fuel can be what? Acquired in the temple. Okay. Okay. Because, right, the wisdom, we talk about that, right? Gaining wisdom from either the visitations of the Buddhas or the classes that we attend, the regular classes or the special classes, we can gain extra insights to help us develop, nurture that wisdom, to inspire us to have more wisdom. All right. Okay. So that's how the temple can help us. Okay. So that, in that sense, then it's overall, this is more broader, overall, the temple serves as a refueling station to get to absolute heaven. Right. So that's another way we can benefit from. It's also a relief station, and this is similar to saying, let's say, this is a little bit broader. Once again, it's broader. The previous point we talked about, it's a place to recuperate, right? Number 16, place for convalescence of one's state of mind, et cetera, right? Okay, place of sanctuary. Okay, it's a relief station meaning that sometimes, because especially for people who just, entered the Tao, we tend to think or view that Tao cultivation is, there will face a lot of difficulties and hardships along the way. Okay, now, at times, there will be situations where, we will lack mental, our mental and physical efforts will be lacking, will be insufficient. Okay, there are going to be times that's unavoidable. So when we return to the temple often, we can receive help, okay, in the form of, blessings or guidance, et cetera, from the Buddhas, from saints, from other members, et cetera, right? Okay, from the teaching. That way, it's sort of like help us to avoid what, when we, if we have insufficient mental or physical effort or insufficient willpower, right? Willpower or wisdom, oftentimes when we encounter obstacles, we're going to give up. So that, to avoid that, because that's a big problem. Okay, that would be a problem. To avoid us, remember, this cultivation is a lifelong journey, right? So we are going to, and it also depends on karma too, but also level of cultivation, level of the merits that we have achieved or we have established, okay, the virtuous merits. We will encounter obstacles. There's no question about. And then on top of that, if we have insufficient, if we don't have enough, mental effort or physical efforts, then it'll be easy for us to give up. So to avoid that, by coming to the temple, we can get help, we can get guidance, et cetera, all that's insight. Okay, so during the times of uncertainty and wavering willpower, our sentiments, energy, and truth to the Tao temple are the most immediate and best way of relief. Okay, so that means, when we say sentiments, it just means, you can say, or you can say, connection, sentiments. Yeah, it just, okay, feelings, but it just means that encouragement, we get encouragement from the Tao temple, okay, all right, so it gives us energy, fuel, willpower, right, just from the previous point, number 20, all right, okay, all right, another function is it's a rest station for human minds and feelings. It's similar to the recuperation of one state of mind, okay, all right, it's similar to that, but okay, all right, so okay, it's similar to number 16, but anyway, this is just a further, okay, it just means that because oftentimes, our human feelings are always hindered by ignorance. That's the problem, okay? So now, a lot of times we say, okay, yeah, cultivating Tao, it's a long-term, it's a gradual, it can be difficult. Now, so when we get tired, that means our mind, or, we get mentally exhausted, we can come to the temple and to help recuperate from that. It's a rest, along that lifelong journey of cultivation, because then we can then gain energy and learn and to put into practice the Dharma teachings, the teachings, and then that way we can sort of like regain back this joy, this happiness, okay, that the Tao temple has, right, to help us. We sort of like leverage off of that, okay, all right. So just as when the soul has this kind of rest period, then the virtuous Tao emerge can be brought to full strength. Yeah. So the idea, it's like a place where we can rest along the way along that long. You can say, okay, maybe it's an arduous, difficult journey of cultivation, but it's a rest stop. The Tao temple serves as rest stop to help us to continue that lifelong journey of cultivation. All right. So that's another function of the Tao temples. That's how we can benefit. Okay. It's also a filling station of virtuous merits. That means, okay, the Tao temple allows us to what? Perform, to make vows, fulfill vows, and also to perform deeds, right? Virtuous deeds. And what do I mean by that? It's not just to ferry people. Yes, ferrying people is very important. Ferrying your parents, et cetera, friends, relatives. That's very important too. But, and those are big, big merits. But there are also little merits, or the spiritual side, the metaphysical side, okay? The non-material provisions, okay? All right, so part of this Tao temple, that's a very cherished opportunity, cherished thing, okay? Something to cherish. Also, from the greatness of the grace of heaven, the virtues of masters, we must retain even more a mind of gratitude and to requite that gratitude, that grace, to return regularly to the Tao temple, to listen to classes, to take part in its activities, to fulfill vows, to make vows, fulfill vows, to resolve karmic affinities, to replenish one's understanding, to constantly, never wavering one's mind, to remain grateful and faithful to the end. Okay, thank you very much. I concluded this class. If I said anything wrong or incorrectly, I ask for the Buddha, saints, guidance, and everybody's corrections. Okay, thank you, everybody.